When you score, you make the West Ham sings. Jimmy on the wing, Jimmy, Jimmy on the wing. Every time you're on the ball, we know it's gonna be a goal. Your real name is Crescencio. La da da da, la da 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 dum, la da 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 dum, la da 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 dum, la da da da. Welcome to Claret and Booze. I hope you enjoy the show. Coming you, Irons. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. You're joined this week by Virgil and Jay. No Mickey this week. I hope he's okay. I've actually not been able to get through to him, so he could pop up here. I don't know. He might do. He might pop up. But anyway, we'll do the pleasantries first. Let's get them out of the way. John, how's your weekend been?
It's been all right, mate. Just working. West Ham and working. Freddie didn't have a game this weekend, so put a few more hours in the cab, the begging box, and got a bit of money in,
How do you find it? Because you're literally every weekend you've got football, wouldn't you? How do you find that when you got those weekends when you ain't got no sort of football with Fred? Yeah,
you sort of want 3 weekends, but when they come around, you're a bit lost.
You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do, do you?
No, what to do.
So you've just been working, basically.
So just went to work, yeah. Well, him and the missus went camping. Him and the missus went camping, so I just went to work, mate. Did a few more hours in the cabinet,
Nice. And we're joined by Jay. How are you, mate? You all good?
Very happy, mate. Really happy to be here, as always. So happy to be here with Virg. I've got a secret thing with Virg, so I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, these two really get on so well.
You are. I love you, John. So anyway, well happy to be here.
Yeah, you went to see Jimmy Carr last night. How was it?
He's brilliant. I wish, do you know, there's probably not one joke I can tell you. It's vulgarity from start to finish. It's brilliant. Absolutely.
Did he brutalise any hecklers? Did anyone dare to heckle him?
Yeah, anyone northern. He tore them to pieces. He tore them to pieces.
Yeah, nice. That's good, man. I'm glad you had a good weekend. Right, I've not. Well, I suppose me. I've had a good weekend. Went to watch football. Today I've had quite a lazy day. I did sort of get up. We walked the dogs, done a little debrief, and went for a nice restaurant at a local Brazilian restaurant. And we got them supporting local businesses. John, there was a butcher's, right? It was a Brazilian butcher's, and I love them because when I went in there, they asked me who I support. I said Paqueta, and they started doing a little shuffle dance. And they gave me a bottle of beer when I went into a butcher's. Anyway, what they've done is on the side of it, they've built like this little cabin thing. Don't look anything from the outside, but I looked at the menu. I thought we'd go in there, mate. Recommend it. Primitive butchers, not budgers. Primitive butchers. Yeah. If you're ever down the way in Enfield, pop in there. It's good. It's really nice.
I'll tell you what, though, if anything epitomised how you've lost your roots, not only have you moved to North London, right? The way you described your fucking lunch was vulgar. It made me feel physically ill. The words, expressions, the things. What was you trying to do?
Do you know what's vulgar? You eating your fucking lunch. Just fucking yum, 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 yum. I know.
Let me do a very quick shout out to Roy in the Roy, shout out to you, mate, from all of us. Yeah, sending you loads of good health and everything, fella.
Good stuff, Roy. Right, okay. We're gonna review. We're gonna review the game quickly. I've spoken about it in depth, right? So, what I'm gonna probably do is I'm gonna hand over to you, John, to take us through your Man City experience and talk about it from your perspective.
Okay, from my perspective, pre-game, I wasn't expecting a lot, and all I wanted to see was us give it a go, right? And we've obviously discussed it on our WhatsApp groups before, during, and after. And you've done your debrief. And I think initially, personally, you was fairly harsh. I think we started well. You was right. It was only like 5 or 6 minutes. We started really well. We was on the front foot. We was pressing with a high line.
Yeah.
But then, for whatever reason, well, we know the reason. They're the best team in the world. Man City got hold of the ball and they dominated us.
That's what they do. They keep the fucking thing, don't they? You can't get it off them. Yeah. But
there's no shame in that because they do that to far better teams than us. And it's not That's not us going, oh, we might as well give up or da-da-da. Sometimes you just have to credit that team. That team would beat a lot of international teams.
I think this is the best version of Man City that I've seen for a few years, and that's scary. They look better than what I've seen before. They're going to piss the league. They're going to piss it.
Look, I mean, look, at the end of the day, they've got players there. They brought. I'm going to say this name wrong because you know what I'm like for pronunciations. They've brought back Gundogan, whatever his bloody name is, the German guy.
Yeah,
Gundogan. I could never say his name. They brought him back for free. So they ain't bought anyone. They've just brought him back for free. They've enhanced the squad again. Pep's a genius, mate. And the thing is that it was a little bit men versus boys. That, you know, they probably could have been 3 or 4 up before we got that lucky deflected goal. But at the end of the day, you know, unashamedly and almost by default, we was in that game. And
what he did, John, the big one was because obviously everyone knows that, and obviously Pep knows that Doku was pocketed by Aaron Wan-Bissaka in a cup final last year. Couldn't get past him. Pushed him to the other wing, and he just fucking the tactical shift was. It was clever, wasn't it? It was clever what he did.
It was clever, mate. But also what was quite clever, because the day before in the press conference, he said that Jack Grealish was injured. And all of a sudden he started. Whether that was mind games or he genuinely thought he wasn't going to play or not, I don't know. But, you know, the disappointing thing for me was that for all the possession they had, I felt both goals were quite avoidable.
Mistakes.
Particularly the first goal. Now, obviously, people have blamed Emerson. People have blamed Paqueta. Personally, I think they're both culpable. I think they're equally to blame, if I'm honest with you. Yes, it was a poor pass by Emerson and slightly behind Paqueta, but you'd expect the Brazilian number 10, as you like to refer to him as, to get that under control with his weaker foot, you know?
It was a full stretch. It was a shit pass.
It was a shit pass, but, you know, I would expect someone with Paqueta's quality to get hold of the ball. But, look, that's neither here nor there.
You have like an Inspector Gadget leg to go out and get it under control.
You make mistakes against City, they're going to punish you. And particularly with the form that Haaland's in. I mean, the geezer's, if you thought he couldn't get any better, I think he looks like he's up a level.
The second goal was terrifying. The angle that I was sat at, I thought, what are we doing? We ain't getting close enough to him. We're giving him too much fucking space. That was my angle. I was like, what is going on? We're not getting close. You watch that on a replay. The ball comes across to him. The first touch kills Emerson and fucking Kilman, and the finish is just outrageous. It's bullshit. Honestly, it flew in like a fucking rocket.
Bullshit.
It is.
I think it was past Areola before he had time to react. It was one.
Absolutely.
You know, absolutely.
That first touch was world class. It
took both of them out of the game. Both of them.
Yeah. There's a banger. But anyway, I'll wait for my go.
No. You can jump in when you want, mate. Honestly, because I ain't going to remember everything. But you know, and then obviously we got the lucky goal with the breakaway, the deflected goal, own goal off of Bowen's cross. And people can say what they want, but that is a you know, the corridor of uncertainty. Put it in that sort of area. Centre back.
He done the right thing. He had nothing else he could do. He had nothing else he could do.
He may have had the wrong body shape for a ball coming from that side. However, you put it in that sort of area. If he ain't checked his shoulder, because there was nothing behind him, he didn't have to dive in. The defender, I can't think of his name there. But it's in that corridor of uncertainty. There's always a chance something like that happens, right? So we're back in it at 1-1. And I thought, here we go. But they just grind you down. They sort of strangle you, don't they? They sort of... Yeah. It is... I've got to be honest.
But you know what, John? What didn't happen in this game? They did grind us down time and time again, but we kept on coming back. We kept on having moments where we kept on coming back to life again, which was encouraging. It was encouraging.
It was very encouraging. I didn't. The thing is, Man City, as good as they are, they'll always give you a chance. You know, they let Ipswich score the other week. You've always got a chance in the Premier League, because as much as they're a far better, well-drilled, oiled machine and a far better team than us, right? They are. Pep's got them playing fantastic football. All teams have moments in games, and the thing is, we've got to learn to take our moments a lot better.
Kudus had to score that goal, didn't he, in the second half?
Yeah, he did in the second half.
He did, yeah.
But and I think that the difference is taking your chances. You got someone like Haaland, I mean, all right, we're not going to get someone like Haaland.
The difference is one team had a really good striker and the other one didn't.
No, okay, that's neither here nor there, but we know that. That goes without saying. But I felt as good as the second goal was, because we've had a bit of debate about it. Obviously, we was talking about it, and I think you was going that you felt Wan-Bissaka was leaving Grealish and that. But I felt the second goal. If you watch the second goal back, I felt Bowen half-heartedly followed Grealish back. I saw it,
yeah.
And then he sort of trotted back. To me, Bowen doesn't look 100%. I don't know what it is, whether it's mental fatigue, physical fatigue, but genuinely, I don't think Bowen looks 100%. I don't think he looks as lively. You know, all players go in and out of form. Of course they do. But I felt for the second goal, as good a finish it was, I think he could have put more of an effort.
He came alive when that break that we had 10 minutes into the second half when Kudus should have scored. That kind of counter-attack punch, bang, go. That was Bowen's thing. And look, there is a bit of a concern. And this ain't to say that he can't adapt, because basically he's been brought into a Premier League team to play a low block and to be a counter-attacking threat. So he's been moulded into that player. We have to understand that. But he does look like a player that I think might struggle to adapt maybe a little bit longer than others, because he does, you know, I think he's been formed by Moyes, isn't he? To fulfill a certain role.
I watched a video the other day. I think it might have been, what's that French geezer's name? West Ham fan.
French West Ham fan?
Luke Bailey. Luke with
yeah.
That's it. I watched him on some video and he made a very good point. He said a lot of it could be like muscle memory. So
I think so.
You know, like where you train a certain way constantly and your brain can't switch off. And I think you said it as well. Maybe he's not used to not playing counter-attacking football 100%. No. He just been playing counter-attack so much.
It might take him a while. It's going to take him a while.
Yeah, look, John says it here. Bowen is a counter-attack player. Maybe if we're having too much possession, maybe he's not used to that style of play. But you know, I don't know. Yeah. But I just feel that he's you know, I feel that he's off a bit of form lately. I mean, we said he was great when Wan-Bissaka came on behind him against Palace. And yes, Man City are a far better team than Palace, but I was disappointed with Bowen, and particularly that goal.
And to pick up on a point that we spoke about on the other show as well, was something that you said as well, and I pushed back on it, and I did sort of notice it in this one, and I found it slightly more annoying. Well, not at the game, because he's the man that gets you off your fucking seat. But when I watched it back on telly, I could see what people were saying, and that was Mohamed Kudus when he's on the left wing. I don't think there's any reason why. I know he's going to be more effective as a central player. I know that. I know he is. It's where he should be, or on the right wing. It's where he wants to be as well. You can fucking tell that, because he doesn't try to be that player out on the left. Because at the end of the day, I mean, Jay, what do you reckon, right? Because Mohamed Kudus, the best things about him is when he picks that ball up and he just fucking batters and runs past players and stuff like that. He could also have a go at doing that on the left wing and all, couldn't he?
He could, but like, first and foremost, our goal, Kudus created that goal. Do you remember how that goal started?
Yeah. It started with him coming inside. Yeah.
It was him taking on again, spinning, putting it. It all started from Kudus.
100%. Yeah.
And I want to give my analysis on that match. Was a fucking joy to watch yesterday.
Yeah.
That was West Ham getting off to our season yesterday. The lineup, the way we played, and people can say, "Oh, we only had 5 minutes here." We was in that game. We was in that game, right? And look, the way City set up, first and foremost, is it showed that they had respect for us, because the way they was going at Wan-Bissaka down the right, because they'd seen that we tucked in. I think my only issue with our lineup yesterday, I would have done 5 at the back rather than the 4.
No. Well, what he did was the reason we were better in the second half. He did change it. If you have a look, what happened was Alvarez dropped, split Kilman and Dinos. Right. And then we basically did have a 5 at the back, and we looked much better. Yeah. But he did address it though. That's one good thing.
No, that's fine. Yeah. But we'll get to that. But what I'm saying is that was my only thing. If he'd have stuck, because what they did, they stuck Doku on the right, which showed their respect for Wan-Bissaka because he knew he got pocketed. But what he also did, Pep, he knew by overloading down our right, it would have to pull Bowen back, and obviously pulling Bowen back is less of an attack. So it shows how much respect. Go on.
But why was Wan-Bissaka going so close into Mavropanos?
He was in. No, that was an instruction. It's like an instruction. He's
yeah,
asking him to tuck in. He's asking him to tuck in.
Yeah, but City played with such width.
Oh no, I don't understand why that weren't addressed in the.
Understand what I'm saying?
That was my point.
I know, but I don't understand. I don't understand why that. Because
let me address that because that was my point. He set up the way we set up from the start of the game. I was like, oh, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They know that Wan-Bissaka has been told to tuck in. Look how tight our back four played. They had all the space in the world down both wings, which is why they went down both fucking wings. What then happened was, go on.
Yeah, but that's no secret. City always play with width.
Yeah,
no,
I know.
My point is
why did we do it?
Yeah,
right. That's my fucking point. I'm saying why.
Tell me your fucking answer.
No. But that was the only concern was that he didn't see it and address it sooner because the reason I got so frustrated with I didn't get frustrated with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I got frustrated with the fact that where I was sitting in the ground, every fucking attack was coming down east side. Everyone. Yeah, and they was overloading him. You had Silva, fucking Grealish, you had De Bruyne. All of them going down. And Bowen for 17 minutes. I swear he didn't track back once.
Right. Jay, so why do you think they did that then? That's what I'm asking you.
Because this is my point, because they were following instructions. If I would have thought on as a player, like we've all played football, at those points you say to the coach, can you see what they're doing? Can we shift it? Like you would be talking to the coach because we set up in a way that they exploited immediately.
But my point. Sorry to interrupt you. My point is, we know City have got two great wingers in Grealish and Doku. That is no surprise that they're going to go wide. What I'm saying is, why would the instructions have been for Wan-Bissaka to tuck in? Why?
I don't know.
When we know they have so much
question.
It is a pattern of this season. The fullbacks have been narrow all season from what I've seen. They've been quite narrow.
Let's move past that. So I thought yesterday, every time we got the ball, when we did get the ball, we looked fucking good. We looked good yesterday. The way we played football, we did. Knocking Paqueta, fuck off. Like Paqueta, he didn't have a great game, but he played all right. And at least we was playing on the turn. We was trying passing. We was forward thinking. That for me gave me some hope that all this Souček, like let's play around. So it was just whatever it was, and that's not the way we're moving forward.
Well. Do you know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to feel like now, after that lineup, I'm sure it's bollocks, but we know what West Ham are like when it comes to getting players in late. You know, we've made all them signings. Obviously, he wanted Soler. They was fucking holding that deal up. It makes you wonder whether or not Loppe just wanted to sort of hold us back a little bit, just to make sure he got all the signings in that he wanted before that window closed. There could have been a bit of that. I don't know. But
mate, if you look at that game, right? If Jimmy had put his one in, if Kudus had put his one in, I know it's if buts and maybes, but that's 3-3. Like that, I think we shook City. The first 5 minutes, fucking hell.
Hang on, let me just address this. Barry Clark's,
he was narrow, mate. He was narrow.
Wan-Bissaka, I think what I'm saying, Barry, Wan-Bissaka was narrow when we was defending,
absolutely.
But when we was attacking, Wan-Bissaka was everywhere. You're right, mate.
What was happening was I can think of 4 or 5 attacks that they had when they nearly fucking scored, and you had 1 or 2 players coming down his side. And he's in next to Dinos, and I'm sitting there thinking,
on the edge of the 18-yard box.
But he wouldn't do that off his own back. He'd be guarding that right back position. So that can only be an instruction. We're not digging at with what we've said. We're not digging at Wan-Bissaka because Wan-Bissaka is very close to our man of the match. I agree with you, Potter. And Darren Potter, just so you remember, mate, I've already put 2 comments up for you this week, so calm down, don't start getting all fresh, right? Wan-Bissaka was brilliant, Barry Clark. Yes, we know. We just addressed that, Darren. So you've had your 2 comments. Don't bother anymore.
Listen, Wan-Bissaka could end up being our best signing, so no one's knocking him. It's good to be able to have a player of that stature that you can critique in a way, not that going at the man for being shit, but going at him for what was the ideology behind it, because it didn't work. That didn't work. And it wasn't that Wan-Bissaka didn't work. That tactic didn't work. That's what happened.
When Wan-Bissaka runs with the ball, when Wan-Bissaka runs out with the ball, though, don't you think he bounces off people? He's
big. He's so fucking big. And do you know the reason why? Obviously, Jay, like you play football, like John, have you? Did you understand what I was trying to say? Do you know when you can see why no fucker gets around him? Because he's in that half-turn jockey ready to sprint. So whenever a player is there, he's ready. But what that means is he does allow a little bit of space. And that is what Man City were exploiting a little bit. They weren't even trying to go around him. So that's what I was trying to pick up on. Because of the Aaron Wan-Bissaka's like, you ain't running past me.
Yeah, but you know why?
Yeah.
He's so confident in winning his one-on-one duels that he's almost in transition to go straight away.
Every time. He's
already on the front foot. He's already on the front foot before he's got the ball. He's confident in his ability on one-on-ones.
He's made some good. He's made some good tackles as well.
It's a fucking joy to have. I can't believe United let him go.
I've heard from two Man United fans, like big Man United fans, since he signed. One most recently yesterday, who was taking the piss out of us for taking us off his hands, and he's gone, "Who the fuck is that player you've got?" That's literally what he said. He said, "Who is that player? We've let him go for 15 million, and they've gone and signed that fucking Maserati bloke 20 million. He's shit."
Sometimes a change is as good as the rest. This is the thing. We've been linked with a lot of Man United players over the last year or so, and everyone just automatically goes, "Yeah, shit." No, they're not. Unfortunately, or fortunately, United's a little bit of a circus at the minute, and it's a bit of a rudderless ship, right? The Glazers ain't run that club well. We know Ten Hag's not wanted. They've tried to get other managers in. It's all up in the air over that club, you know. So they've got some good, like McTominay, gone to Napoli. He'll do well out there, mate. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Also, people, what I've done is I've tried something new on this one. I don't think don't restrict the amount of comments you can do. I've tried to slow the stream of comments down. So I've put I think a 20-second slow comment thing on. I think that's just in between your comments that you can make. All that is so that we don't miss any, because otherwise, John, it just fucking flies through, doesn't it? So we're trying it.
That Joel Curtin, he's not been put up. He's put Nick. Do you think we should have put Kudus up front? Because I just want to touch on that. What I would have done against City, I would have done 5 at the back. I would have had the false number 9. I'd have had, because did you see? Remember I said to you, Nick? I
think that's where we're going, Jay. I think it's where we're going this season. I think it is. The pace we've
got going forward is ridiculous. You remember the Bowen and Kudus when they went off and they done that for me is how we should have gone at City from the start. We should have had them, left them up a bit, and had the 5 at the back. Have Guido and Alvey sitting there. Yes, it's a bit of a block, but then as soon as we get it, not over the top, down the channels, split the fuckers, make them run foot race down the channels, and let Kudus and Bowen go. Mate, we looked mustard yesterday. I think we look brilliant.
I do think there's a lot to take from it. The only thing is, and again, that's probably me being too critical, right? Because what I will say, no, it probably is, because a lot of what we said was true. I mean, you've just said it. We could have been 4 or 5 goals down in the first 20 minutes. But I do think that was tactical, and I do think we had a few players, you know, that were wobbly as fuck. Not Wan-Bissaka, when they were having players run at them. I picked out Kilman. I picked out Dinos as well. So the back two didn't overly like it when players were running at them. But then again, like I said, you've got to give them dispensation against those fucking teams, because it ain't like you've got one player running at you, is it? You've got 1, 2, 3.
Best players in the world. You've got the best players in the world running at you. Like in 5, they're coming at you in sets of 5, mate. That's our graph.
So the big test now is going to be when we come back in 2 weeks. The big test is going to be rocking around. Makes me feel like I'm in a boat. Stand still, Jay.
No, you know why?
I've been waiting to talk to you. It's not bad. You
know what he needs? All he needs is, you know, what's them things called? Maracas.
Yeah.
It's be like this from Happy Mondays.
No, I've been fucking used. I've been at it on WhatsApp. I've been working with people. I've been at it fucking. I've been waiting to mate. That was brilliant.
Working.
Oh, here we go. Taxi. Anyone call a fucking taxi?
No one called a taxi. Don't call taxis. 8.1988.
Listen, yesterday for me, it was rejuvenating. Like to see us we had a go. I don't know what we was doing against Palace and fucking Villa, because it weren't that.
Well,
we did yesterday, we had a go.
The difference is for what everyone says that we had. He had a bad game, right? And it wouldn't have to be just Paqueta. We could have put Kudus in the 10 as well. The difference was we had a forward-thinking player in the 10. That was the biggest difference, because we could transition up the pitch. We've seen that we've been knocking the ball about, all right? We've seen that we've been knocking it about in defence, and we've been trying to keep it, but then there's nowhere to go, so they go back and we go direct. But now, all of a sudden, you've got someone in that pocket. You've got someone where you can move the ball forward too. I know it don't work every time. It ain't going to work that every time with everyone, especially when Kudus, Bowen and Antonio are not really doing what they should be doing in terms of movement. They've got to be, from the minute that Paqueta receives that ball, they've got to be fucking going and gone. They've got to be giving him options. And
you know what, though,
he'll start to hit them. He'll start to hit them.
The problem is there, though, unfortunately, I hate saying that, it's Mickey. Mickey needs to be brought out of that now. That's the problem with them three, because we're still catering for the old way we played when we got Mickey on the pitch.
Yeah,
if you take Mickey out of it, you've then got Kudus, Bowen, fluid with Paqueta.
You could say similar with Bowen as well, because Bowen's sort of sitting there waiting to sort of do the counter-attacking break thing. Although what I will say is, I think there's some credence to moving Bowen central. I know you want to put Kudus down the middle, but I think if you're going to go for a false 9 and you're going to play Paqueta in a 10, I think it should be Bowen, because they've got a fucking telepathy between each other. Paqueta can read Bowen's movement. How many times have we seen it? How many times have we seen Bowen perfectly time his run? Like he'll do one of them little golf chips over the top, and Bowen brings it down fucking every time. I do think there's some credence in that. I know that Bowen isn't the big centre forward that you can stick up against a 6'5" defender. He's not, but you can stand him off. You can play the false 9, and Bowen might have more success, I think, because look, fullbacks are typically fast. They are. I don't think Bowen is necessarily the quickest, but Bowen has definitely got it in him to strip a 6'5" centre back if he's running at him all day long.
Absolutely. Over them first 5 yards. Sorry, go on, John.
Yeah.
It's how, they don't have to be particularly quick. It's how they run with the ball and how well that ball sticks to their foot when they're running with it. You know what I mean? Anyone could be quick without the ball, but if you've got that skill set where you can just make the ball magically stick to your foot as you're running, and a bit of
he does seem to have that as well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he does.
He does have that. Kudus is a little bit different. Kudus seems to have a bit more raw pace.
I think he can do everything, Kudus, apart from play left wing.
He's our best player, man.
Sorry, I think we can all see that he needs to be central. Because if you've got someone running at you centrally, centre backs, particularly centre backs, because my boy's a centre back, right?
This is a good
like pace running at them.
No, they don't. This is a good point, right? And it is a good point. We've spent, not with Soler, so about 150 million all told. It would have been 175 with Soler. And we're still saying we should have prioritised a centre forward. I know we've gone and got Fulkrug, but I don't know that there's really many people that would want to start with Fulkrug up front.
Well, I said to you,
not many.
When we got Fulkrug and you was a little bit pissed off, and I said to you, it's purely a stopgap. I'm telling you,
it's an expensive stopgap, mate.
Well, it is. Well, it is and it isn't, if you know what I mean. Because at the end of the day, he's a German international.
It's done there anyway. It's done. He's our player. So
yeah, but even if he stays a season or 18 months, he's still going to recoup most of the money on it.
Yeah, I have heard, because I don't know what. I don't know whether you heard Lopetegui's comments after the game where he snuck in. Basically, we're down to a squad size now of 22 or 23. We've got space in the squad for a couple of free transfers. He hinted we might not be finished. So
he's probably got some great contacts as well. You can imagine.
Yeah, we could be. The one that people are still talking about because he's out of contract at the moment. Who's Fulkrug's mate? The German, the old bloke from Dortmund. Hummels. Matt's Hummels.
I don't think we need him. He's another centre back, isn't he? 37.
No. We need. Well, you say that. You say we don't need him, but you've got. We've only got Todibo, Dinos, and Kilman. That's all we've got.
And then you're down to Casey.
Yeah. We've got Casey as well. But I'm saying you would probably, especially if what you're talking about, Jay, is playing a back three. You might need one more body back there. You know.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think if we ain't had any youth through, you've got that Casey. I think with them three and the Casey, I don't think we got a panic over that. I don't, from memory, Kilman and Mavro, they're not really injury. I don't know much about Toddy, but Kilman and Mavro, they're not really injury.
Don't you tempt fate, Jay?
Yeah, well, this is it. They're both lumps. Yeah. Someone, I must say as well, Amers Mikey, shout out to you, mate. He just said in the chat, he's really gone at Mavro. I don't know. I think Mavro, he's not done that bad
I like Mavropanos. I do. I don't think he's. I don't think he's a world beater. I don't think he is. But what a fucking centre back to have in your team. And look, listen. I know everyone's having a go at him for the third goal that we conceded. That was a point where Souček came on. Alvarez went off. All of a sudden, there was a big void there that weren't there before. he did take a risk to go out there and try and intercept it. That's what he did. You know, he tried to sort of press high. And do you know what? I think Lopetegui clearly encourages that because we've seen Dinos and Kilman going out and trying to intercept the ball. So I've got no issue with it.
And
I don't think that I don't think the Kilman mistake was as bad as the fucking Emerson one and Paqueta. It wasn't as bad as that.
With the Emerson thing, me power. I need to get me power. But with the Emerson thing, by the way, Paqueta's body weight had gone the other way. There was no way he was getting that ball because he'd already shifted.
Can't you just plug the laptop into you, Jay? Because you've fucking got enough power, haven't you?
All that breathing he's been doing. He's been teaching people how to breathe, isn't he?
Right. Okay. So, should we go into the player ratings?
Yeah,
Have you got any questions? Have you got any questions in the chat you want to run through before we do?
I mean, no. There's lots of good comments. I mean, let's have a look at some of them. There's a lot.
You got Alan Thomas as well. Just drops a super sticker. Thank you very much, Alan Thomas.
To Alan Thomas.
My thumbs ain't working.
What the? Pew-pews are not on. Mickey's not in it tonight.
That's all right. You ain't got to do pew-pews. So you can still have fireworks.
Shout out to Mickey.
Mandy G says success heavily relies upon making the right choices at the right time. Not
I agree.
Duran and paying almost 30 for Fulkrug has cost us some success this season. How do you know what success was going to have?
I think because we're just waxing lyrical about how fucking brilliant we looked, and it would have made such a fucking difference to have him in there as well. It doesn't matter. There's no point keep talking about it now. We ain't got him. And we ain't going to get the fucker either because he ain't going to stop scoring. And come January, he's going to be worth a fortune.
Right, what about this one from Potter? How is Fulkrug going to prove himself if he doesn't get much game time? And also, I'd like to caveat that with if when he does get game time, we're not putting crosses in the box, which is what his skill set is. So it's a little bit of a dead rubber for him. You know what I mean?
100%. He is a target man. He even said it in his opening interview. He needs to be supplied. You know, he needs to be given ammunition. He's not going to do it himself. He's under no illusions. Neither should we be. If you're playing him up front, I think in a sense he's probably got a little bit less technical ability than the likes of Skamaka and Haller did. But he is a good target man.
Fulkrug is a little bit of a throwback to an 80s, 90s English striker for me. Nick, is Kez, should I ban her again? What's going on? She back
ban her. Get rid of her. Go on, boot her out. Yeah.
With the Fulkrug thing, though, I don't think there can be any judgment made on Fulkrug yet because he has not had any service. None. Fuck all. He's had about 2 shots that he's made himself.
Right. Yeah. Are you managing to scroll back in the chat today, John? Is it all right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit. I don't know.
You start a couple. You got this one from Colin Chivers.
Oh yeah, let me go in there.
Yeah, go on now. Put it up for you.
All right. Colin says, Nick, John, and Jay. Good evening. Do you think we will regret not getting a top class striker? For how strikers are not good enough. If we had Duran or someone of that, or someone of that, what? Esquire.
That esque, be a bit cultured, John. That esque, fuck's sake. Go on, carry on.
Hang on a minute. You're telling me esque is a word?
It's the way you say it. If you say it in flow with what he's saying. Colin Chivers from Somerset, I'm sorry that, John
he's not from Somerset. We keep on saying he's from Somerset. He's not.
Hang on a minute.
But I believe we could have won the game. Yeah, no, he makes a good point. He makes a
look, I think so. I think if we'd have had, I'm going to say it, if we'd have had Duran in that team, fuck me. Come on. The difference it would have made.
Out of bed with Duran, though, mate.
Mate. But the difference it would have it would make, and that's what I mean. I'm hoping that maybe there's something that they can do on a free transfer. There must be fucking a quick striker out there, someone available, or if not, we might have to go in January because we won't be getting him now. That deal is fucking dead. We ain't getting him. Not a chance.
Ryan Kareem says great performance. AWB man of the match. We played well with the ball and created chances. Pep had to put more midfielders on to try and kill the game. Yeah, good point. He did.
Yeah. And do you know what I did like as well, which kind of encouraged me was. Look, I know they play with a lot of width, like we said before, but not always. They can fucking attack everywhere, but they didn't even try. You had Rodriguez and Alvarez there, and it was a little bit like, no, fuck that.
Fucking getting fucking angry with you, mate. Stop fucking talking about Duran. We're not doing it.
I'll talk about what I want, Darren.
Well said, Potter. I've been trying to tell him to shut up.
Piss off, Darren. Yeah, right, go on.
That is, I just want to say what you said, but that showed the respect that Pep has got for us because what he did, he just pummeled our wings. He didn't want to touch us through the middle because of what we had, which is a good sign. So at the end of the day, playing the best team in the world, losing 3-1, hitting the post twice, that ain't a bad result.
I also think in regards to a striker, Lopetegui might have his eye on one or two strikers, and maybe they're just not available yet. Maybe their contract, we will have to wait till January, or we will have to wait till the summer. You know, it's a rebuilding process, and Rome. Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah,
listen to this. Or we could well have. I know that Bowen wasn't a great striker in a David Moyes system. Funny enough, we tried it. He wasn't, because you need to be the big battering ram in a David Moyes system. However, so he was good as a winger, but not as a centre forward. I don't think he did well at all as a striker under David Moyes. But playing in a team that plays football and progresses the ball forward properly, Bowen could be a fucking striker.
Yeah, especially like you said earlier with that Paqueta, that little.
I think he could be. He could be a striker.
Just over the top. But imagine you got Paqueta with Kudus and fucking Bowen pelting on, you know, that little turn, that little clip over the top. We're going to look. I don't think we need at this point, if we play that way. I don't think we're in massive need of a quick striker because of what we've got currently.
Yeah, no. I do think that we'll see it. I think he's shown that he's willing to change things. And like you said, look, Paqueta ain't getting dropped, right? Kudus ain't getting dropped. Bowen ain't getting dropped.
No,
I think you'll see Soler come in as well.
No. But you say they're not going to be dropped, Nick. But what we've seen from Lopetegui already in his short time at West Ham is he don't care
He'll hook
who
him.
you are.
He'll hook
if
him.
you're underperforming in the game, he'll sub you. Bowen got subbed.
No. He'll hook you. He'll hook you. But yeah. I think if he can analyse a game, which he will be able to far better than us, he will be able to see that the reason it's fucking difficult to create in that 10 position is because that movement ain't quite there up front, as far as I'm concerned. Pack will get dropped for Soler. Oh, you're having a fucking laugh, mate. Honestly.
John Morgan, I don't think his comments come up yet, but I like what he's put there because he's put, love the way things are developing this season and have to say the winners were successful. And he's put Guilherme. We've not even seen Guilherme yet as well. Like we've got him.
No, but he was on the bench. And do you know what else was a good positive about that? Guilherme, yes. So Guilherme was on the bench. Also, we had a youth product on the bench. We had Casey on the bench as well. And I do know, I've spoken to someone today connected with the youth team who's basically fed back to me that apparently can't say but apparently I've told you earlier Lopetegui and
these people, why do they phone you?
I don't know because you I'm just I don't know, but Lopetegui and Tim have basically asked for, there's a couple of players that they've stopped loan moves because they want them to be involved in the team, and they've also the ones that have gone out, well I know Casey's one of them. But who the other one is, I don't know. Whether that's Scholes or whether that's Alford, I don't know. But whether, with the players that have gone out, it's very clear. They've had it made very clear to them that they are part of the plans and they're all on board. That's the reason the likes of Alford have signed their fucking 5-year contracts. And Potts has, like we said, I weren't too pleased when he got his second loan. I didn't think Portsmouth was Championship, but they are. So it's a step up.
It's another level up again for him, isn't it?
It's a step up, yeah. So it's good. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. Right, let's get into the player ratings anyway.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right, no screen flicking this week.
Do what?
It didn't work. It didn't work last one. No bean flicking. Hang on.
What are you talking about?
Hang on. You know I had to keep them going backwards and forwards between the screens last week.
Oh yeah, shit! It was Mickey was livid. Mickey, have you put the system? Mickey wants the thing.
I've done it for Mickey. Look. And he's not even I've done it for him, and he's not even here. Look.
That looks good. That looks proper.
It does, mate. I don't fuck around. Right, so we'll start with John Areola.
6. Made a very actually, because he only played half the game. Actually, he did make a fantastic save from De Bruyne.
That was a mental save as well. It was fucking brilliant.
I'm going to give him, even though it was half a game, for that save alone, 7. There you go.
7.
Yeah, I was too quick to throw him with 6s, but that was a fantastic save, I've got to say. And the good thing is, Potter agrees with me. Me and Potter are pals. Look.
Right, so Wan-Bissaka. I'll take Wan-Bissaka. Look, considering what he had to deal with, what he had to cope with, and the system that he was played in, which I don't think really helped him in the first half, he was quite flawless. No one got past him. It was a brilliant performance from him. He was incredibly good going forwards as well when we did sort of advance up the pitch. His passing's good. His passing sharp. The only thing that I want to see from him, there was a couple of occasions that I don't know whether you saw it, when he did advance down the right, he could have put a cross in and he didn't. I haven't seen him put a cross in yet, so I'd like to see if he can get delivery in from the right hand side. But that for me, probably going to be an 8. it's got to be an 8 performance. He was under the cosh massively. Dinos for you, Jay.
6. Now, people say he was at fault for that third goal. I want to see him doing that because he's not always going to be playing up against the best players in the fucking world. And that sort of movement that he's got, that on the front foot aggression to be able to go and win the ball high up in the pitch. I want that from our centre-backs because it creates, if he wins that, it creates fluidity. It's a new dynamic for people to have to respond to because there's not many centre-backs are playing like Kilman and Mavro. We've got 2 of them that are both comfortable with going up. So for me, yes, obviously he was up against like
Mikey hates Mavro. Look,
a barrage of onslaught from City, but I don't think he done awful. So 6, I think, is a fair score.
I think the thing is with centre backs, particularly when you play against someone as good as Haaland, right? Haaland, the strength and pace of him, he can roll you time and time again, right? And what that does is one of 2 things. It creates a sense of fear. So sometimes you keep retreating, and then all you're doing is inviting them on.
Exactly.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did dive in. But if he would have won that at such an advanced position, we would have been on the front foot straight away. So sometimes you have to try and engage higher up the pitch. You have to.
I agree.
He took a chance. It didn't come off. I agree with you, but.
Colin Chivers, he's having to clarify it once again. He sent us a tenner to do so. Thank you very much, mate. You're a gentleman. He says, good show, boys. Love the content. Well, he says, like the content, but I've changed it to love. Love the content and always like your forthright views and comments. I'm formerly from Canning Town, but was born 10 minutes from the bowling ground. He now resides in Hertfordshire. Yes, there you go, mate. Thank you very much, mate. You're a gentleman.
Is this Claret and Booze? Is this Claret and Booze, or this is your fucking life? What is this show tonight?
Don't you listen to him, Colin. He's a dick. Right, John Kilman, go on.
Kilman, I thought he was very good again. I thought his range of passing was good. I don't remember him doing too much wrong, if I'm totally honest with you. I thought
I don't think he got tight enough sometimes, in my opinion. But
yeah, but he wasn't at fault for any of the goals, particularly. He wasn't as good as he was against Palace. I'm still going to give him a 7.
Fair enough.
In the chat, it's quite mixed. In the chat, you got 6, 7s, 8s. I mean, people's perception of a player's football's opinions in it, but I'm going to give him a 7 if I'm honest.
Yeah. Right, Emerson. I don't think he had a bad game. I know he made that mistake that led to the goal, and I do blame him as opposed to Paqueta, and I love Emerson as well. I think it was a loose pass. Yeah, maybe Paqueta could have done better with it to get him out of trouble, and I'm sure is his mate. He would have if he could have. Do you know what I mean? It weren't his best game, but I was surprised when he went off because he's not rash. I don't know if he's had a red card in his career, Emerson. He weren't going to go and get a second yellow card. I don't think it was right. I think you said this before, John, that sometimes you've got to trust your players. You've got to trust your players rather than sort of acting like that and pulling them off because they've got the yellow. So yeah, for me, I'm going for a 7 for Emerson. I thought he played well even with that mistake. Look, at the end of the day, we're going to make mistakes when we're trying to play this new shape, this new style, this new formation. That's why I'm not going to come down on Dinos when he comes out or does anything like that. Because we are going to do it while they're trying to learn this new pattern of play, which is, look, it's high risk, isn't it? When you're playing out from the back, it's high risk. You're going to make mistakes. So 7 for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The chat is very mixed again. I'll be honest with you. I thought Emerson personally was one of our poorer players. I wouldn't have given him a donkey.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, my opinion would have been 5-6 for him. But it's your score, so I'm not going to just.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I think they both had their hands full. It weren't much different with Emerson. And I mean, he had fucking Doku to deal with.
Yeah, no,
and I don't think Doku did as much as what the others did down this side.
He didn't want to go at Emerson. If you watch Doku, he didn't want to go. He kept coming back and laying it off.
Absolutely. So Emerson did well. He had his hands full as well. It weren't just Wan-Bissaka. I know he's everyone's favourite one at the moment, but Emerson's a good player as well. Right. So James Alvarez.
Alvarez, I'd give him a 7. He wasn't great, but I don't think he's up to speed yet in regards to his fitness either. Yep. But yet he's still put in a good shift. The partnership with Guido, I am loving. That's only just started. Well, I suppose it goes back to their previous playing days. But them two together, sitting in front of your back fucking 4 or 5, allowing your likes of Kilman and Dinos to pummel forward. I think like I said, what we're looking like at the minute, we're set up. If he plays the way I'm hoping he's going to play, for a really new style of West Ham way football, and Alvarez is going to be key to that.
I think Alvarez was amazing when you consider he's just come back so quickly from that injury. He played 2 roles yesterday. He done that CDM role. He was also bursting forward. And you know what? No messing around. When he was asked to do that because he was basically a centre back for that second half, more or less. He just dropped into that back three, no complaints, and he done exactly the same job. In fact, we looked so much better, so much more solid when he was in there.
And he's not even up to speed yet. That's why he's getting the 7 from me, because he's that good. If he weren't as good as what I know he is, maybe he'd get an 8. But I know
No. You can't score him based on what he could be. You've got to score him on the game, James.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, James.
Right,
so that's a 7.
Right. 7.
Well, Reggie in the chat reckons that Guido and Alvarez were both overrun, particularly in the first half, and they should be getting 6s.
They went round the outside of them, mate. They didn't go overrun.
That's right. They avoided them.
They went round the outside. Yeah, all the traffic was literally coming down that side near me. It was fucking pissing me off. Right, John Rodriguez.
The Villa game aside, he settled in very, very, very well. He looks calm, cool, calculated. He's strong. He gets the ball moving quickly. I like what I'm seeing from him. I didn't know much about him when we got him on that free transfer. I'll be totally honest with you. I just think he's growing into an exceptional talent, which not growing into it. He's already got that. But I agree with you. I think him and Alvarez together will stop most teams in the league. I mean, Man City is a different kettle of fish, but them two together are like a South American wall of China. I think they're solid. I think he's solid. I think he's looking a snip. I mean, if what Lopetegui said was true, Nick, about the squad, and we could get another couple of free transfers in, if he's able to spot free transfers like Guido, then
this is a Loppe signing as well. He's worked with him before. He knew the player. Exactly. And do you know what else? I think he's going to become a fan favourite because do you know what? In his own way, he's I think he's nastier than Alvarez because Alvarez is rash. He's fucking out there. He's in your face. He's a calculated bastard.
Yeah,
he's like that silent assassin. Have you seen them dirty fucking professional fouls that he does? He was doing it to Eze against Palace. Them little nibbles on the back of the ankle.
He's obviously practiced them because
he's filth.
Impeccable.
Absolute filth.
He goes around his business quietly, Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He sort of drifts around. He just sort of says to the ref, "Oh, I didn't mean to fucking kick him in the face." He's got that about him. Like, yeah, I like him. He's good.
Oh, Look, this is interesting. What? Would you? Depay is a free transfer.
Well, the problem with that is his last wage. I think his last weekly income was about 200 grand a week. So,
but we've cleared a lot off the wage bill though. I think you got Zuma's gone. That was what was that? No, he was an over 100 grand a week. Zuma. We've still got Ings, which is a problem. But obviously Aguirre's gone. He was on a decent wage. Who else went? Cornet.
Yeah, but you're only losing half their wages. If you've gone on loan, you're doing half usually, aren't you?
Yeah.
James Will-Press on loan.
Sorry, John. What score did you give him?
I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, no, I'm really pleased. That was a really, really fucking good signing. It was. I'll tell you what. Just fucking, I'm gonna go Kudus. I'm gonna give Paqueta to someone else. Otherwise, I'll get accused of being biased. Or shall I take him?
Take him.
Don't be scared. If you want, mate. We can discuss it if you want while you score.
Yeah, but look. With Paqueta for me, I actually don't think Paqueta had the bad game that everyone's saying he is. I do think you got a bit of Rooney syndrome going on here. I think he is a player that we all look to make something happen. I do. But those three in front of him were not functional, and he's the bridge between that gap between Alvarez and Rodriguez. He's the one that plays the ball forward, and he did not stop trying. In addition to that, he was tearing into tackles. He made some very good fucking tackles and challenges as well. He ain't the quickest. We know he's not the most mobile. He was doing his best in there. I don't think he had a bad game at all. I know people fucking look at him and really give him a lot of shit. I do. And he does do some things that frustrate me. That, in fact, the biggest thing that he did that frustrated me was in the second half. And he was over at the kind of the right back position, and he played a stupid fucking diagonal ball across our box, and that got intercepted.
Yeah.
That was annoying. You don't do it there, but yeah, no. For me, I'm gonna stick with what I said because I think Paqueta is world class, and by his standards, he can do so much better. But he was hindered. I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, I think that's fairly fair. I would just like to say regarding Paqueta. it's not the things that don't come off for me that bother me, because you're going to get that from that sort of player. We've discussed it before. He
risk
will
and reward,
do
isn't
things.
it? Risk and reward, yeah.
It is a little bit risk and reward, but the things that he does towards the edge of our box and things like that, he's got to cut that out, right? He can't be doing that, right? Because you're just making the rod for your own back. What I will say about Paqueta is
trouble is, John, he is a casual player.
Okay, but
he is a bit casual sometimes.
Yeah, but he's got to learn, Nick, that when you're near your box or in and around your own box, you cannot afford to be fucking casual, mate, right? Because you're going to get the stick, and you've got to expect it. For me, you said the other day that you think that he's on such a higher wavelength than some of the other players.
I do believe it.
That he, a lot of what he does doesn't come off because no one's on his wavelength. Now, that's neither here nor there for me, because I think that's a little bit of a cop-out, right? Because what I'd say to that is then he's got to stop doing it. If the stuff ain't working for him and making him look worse, if you like, because the players ain't on his wavelength, he's got to cut it out a little bit then, right? Firstly. However...
I don't think it's that. I just think, do you know, like, if you've got a player that's thinking quicker than the players that he's passing to, he sees a ball. And I don't necessarily think that sometimes the players that he's passing to are seeing what he's trying to do. I don't think he's trying to be too clever. I think he is literally seeing something. And he's a bit of a... In that position, he's a split-second merchant, which is weird because when he's deeper, sometimes he gets caught pondering. He ponders a bit. He's a bit casual. But in that area there, he don't seem to fuck around. He releases the ball.
The biggest thing that pissed me off of him yesterday was not only what you just said about when he was in the right-back position, but near the end of the game, we're 3-1 down. He wins a free kick. He takes it very quickly to Souček. Souček wasn't awake or whatever. And Paqueta's thrown his arms around, like gone absolutely fucking nuts. It was 3-1 down, mate. I don't like that, because that, to me, is shifting the blame onto Souček, saying it wasn't my fault.
Declan Rice used to do that, John, just saying.
And I called him out for it as well. I never said he was good for doing it. I don't like that sort of attitude.
Alvarez done the same thing. Did you not see it when Souček fucked up a pass?
I don't like it. I don't like it either. We're talking about Paqueta now. We're talking about Paqueta now. The trouble is with you, because Paqueta ticks all the boxes, because you love the flair players.
I love that. I love everything about the guy. I do.
Yeah, I do. But you've got to be honest as well. You can't, like, you know.
No. He weren't shit. People were saying he was like fucking. If some of the comments had been giving him a 1 and it'd have been donkeying him off. There's no way.
He had an average game. He had an average game
by his standards. Yeah.
Well, no, he just had an average game in general.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's been average this season, to be honest with you. I think he's been average this season.
To this. This is the first game Paqueta has had the people in front of him, the right people, for him to start playing the type of football that he can play. Because prior to that, what did he have in front of him? He had Souček and even Mickey or Souček, and he can't play that football. But with them two, at least, again, against the best team in the world, he had a go. He tried to. And if we stick with this formation... Moving forward, you're going to see everyone's going to be back on his knobsack again in no time.
Yeah, they will.
Into his flow of pinging it over to Kudus and Bowen or Jimmy, then all of a sudden he's going to be that world-class number 8, number 10 that he actually is.
Because you know something, he does, mate, there is an argument as well, and we will move on. A few people have said move on. There is an argument as well to say that maybe he gets more...
to move on. Fucking
but there is an argument to say that Paqueta probably gets more flack than other players because we know his ability. Yeah. We know how good he is.
And that's fair enough. I think them players, they deserve to get a bit more flack because it's out of respect. You expect more. So that's fine. Who's next?
The best one was Di Canio. Remember
Jay Kudus.
Go on.
Go on. What was you say about Di Canio?
No, Joe, I've been told to shut up. Get on with it,
yeah? Right, Kudus, I'll give him a 7. He made the goal, first and foremost. He was out on his not preferred side. However, if he does keep... And what I did like, and this is one thing I will give to Mick. How many times did them three switch?
They did it fluidly. Kudus and Antonio were covering each other. They were covering each other. And
moving forward, I hope to see more of that. I feel that he had a good game, Kudus. Like I said, he made it that. It's every time this season that geezer has come into the middle of the park, something has happened. I still would rather see him in the middle of the park. If not, I want to see that crossing over with Bowen, putting Bowen out there sometimes, mixing up a bit. 7, I think
you could have fluidity between those 3 players. I think, taking Antonio out of the mix at the moment, I think Paqueta, Kudus and Bowen have all got the ability to interchange. Not Paqueta on the right wing, but between that kind of 10 and left wing, they could share that position to a degree.
When Paqueta goes out to the left, you had that dynamic with Emerson. He comes up, then all of a sudden you got them two playing samba football down the left, ticky-tacky, and then, Kudus could then be in the centre with Bowen on the right. So, mate, we've got loads to be excited about in regards to that. And Paqueta is going to be a big part of our season.
Massive. As much as it breaks a lot of people's hearts, I'm sorry, everyone. He's a fucking great player. He is.
I love him. One of his babies.
Right. So, you've done... Where's John gone? John, you got Bowen. Good luck.
Bowen... I mean, he had that. He did have that shot where he cut inside, and Ederson saved it in the first half. Obviously, he was. I suppose does he get an assist for the own goal? But he hasn't looked. He hasn't looked right this season. He's not 100%, whether it be physical or mental, in my opinion. I felt he wasn't helping Wan-Bissaka out a lot when Wan-Bissaka was playing sort of narrow when we was defending against City. And I think the second goal could have been stopped, or he could have at least tried to stop Grealish a little bit, Bowen. And when they scored, he slumped and put his hands on his knees because he knew he didn't really put the effort in to try and track Grealish back, and that was in the first half. I think it's interesting because someone in the chat earlier said, what's he got? He's got 2 goals, 2 assists, or is it something like that?
Something like that, yeah. His numbers are good.
He's been poor. And he's been poor. So by his standards, I think he's been poor. We have to be fair here, We know what he can offer. We know how good he's been, but he's been poor so far this season. And I thought he was poor. I really do think he was one of our worst players on Saturday. And all the players generally put in a good shift, but I genuinely think he was very much off the pace. Someone's put it, I was just going to say it, Mark Staunton. I don't think he's captain material.
Yes.
I think maybe, it's a good point, Mark. I was going to bring it up, I promise.
Yeah.
I think maybe the captain armband might be weighing heavily on him.
Fucking bang on. That's what I was going to say as well.
Because he's not the most vocal of players, right? I've never seen him shouting and berating people because you said it yesterday, Nick. Alvarez wasn't captain, but Alvarez was instructing, telling and all that. You don't have to have the armband to be a captain.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'll tell you what, if you are given the armband, you need to be someone who's vocal. And I don't think Bowen is that sort of player.
He's not. I think that's going to weigh heavily on him. I really do, sadly. But what was your score, John, anyway?
Right, I was going to be harsh and give him a 5, right? But I think it's a bit harsh. I'll give him a low 6.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I agree. Right, Antonio. I'm not donkeying him up before anyone asks me to. I've left the donkey off the graphic today because I don't want to donkey anyone up. So for me, Antonio didn't have a good game. He was terrible. In normal circumstances, I probably would have. I probably would have gone a 4. But that was a fucking. It was a tough gig that all those players had out there yesterday. It really was. And yeah, he was poor. It wasn't a good performance. I feel sorry for him because he's getting older. Bless him. His game is all about his technique. His game is no. I do mean that as well because I think he wants to play on, and his game's all about his technical attributes. He ain't one of those players that's going to be good when he loses his pace or anything like that. He's not. I think his game's all about his pace and his power, and you can see it starting to leave him now. And we have got to move on from him. But even so. I still would play Antonio in front of Fulgrim to start. If those were my 2 options, I really would. Because we'll go on to talk about Fulgrim in a bit anyway. But no, I'm going to give him a 5.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him a 5.
I think that's fair. I think that he has come to the end to some extent now. Particularly, I mean, he had some fairly good moments. He did roll them a couple of times, and got down the left.
He did, yeah, he did.
But he's just not the player he was, and. We've said it for the last 2 or 3 years on this channel, haven't we? The problem with it is that he will always be almost like a figure of fun or a figure of hatred to some extent because of our lack of ever getting in a striker that suits.
Yeah.
We've had to keep turning back to Antonio all of the time. And it's a shame.
Yeah. No, I agree. Right. Jay, Fabianski.
6. I don't think he's done anything wrong. Don't think he's done anything that amazing.
He was good. We've got 2 fucking good keepers here, haven't we?
Yeah. Solid 6.
You wanted to get rid of him last year, didn't you, Nick? Remember?
I just didn't want him standing in the way of Areola. But do you know something, though? When he's played, I mean, it was like against Bournemouth. Some of them fucking saves he pulled off. Like that one from, was it Tavernier? That back heel thing in the...
Yeah, I was right behind that. He had no right to get to that, I tell you.
No, right, John.
38, 39 in him, say?
Yeah, John, take Spinny.
Hang on, good point here from Words and Pictures. I was going to bring this up before we move on. Why don't we get to rate the panelists? Tell you why. because Nick would be livid because I'd always win. That's why he won't have that.
Can do. I'll put him on there next week. You can donkey me up. Right, go on, John.
We can do panelist of the week, a little thing. You know, we do man of the match. Why panelist? I fucking invented this channel. How dare you?
I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a feature. We'll do it once a month. So once a month, I'll bring another slide up, and we'll do panelist of the week, and we'll let you lot. You can rate us, and you can donkey us up if you want.
Yeah, donkey us up. Yeah. What am I doing?
Go on. You're doing Souček.
Oh. What did he come on? 77th minute or something?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's hard to rate. It's hard to rate him, isn't it?
I'd just give him I'll give him a 6 average for him, innit? Did his usual.
Yeah, not much.
Look at my score. Oi,
what you got?
Oi.
Virgil 10. Right.
I'll give him a 6. Look, I'm not going to listen. We've been accused of being harsh on him for quite a while, and you know. But if you're watching, Souček, yeah, you've done well. 6, mate. If you're watching.
Happy Hammeret's gone Virgil -5. Thank you, Happy. There you go.
Yeah, you know why? I didn't buy her a drink. We went out to Motown.
Right, Fulkrug. We'll all have a little bit of a talk about him. Look, what I said was one of my rationale is that when he's come into the game just recently, either as a sub or when he played against Bournemouth, we haven't had much creativity in the team. It's coincided with him taking off the players around him. He had everyone on the pitch in this one. I don't know what he did. He's still. I think he's a really good player. He's a target man, and I think he is a top striker. But he needs service. I don't think he's going to get it in the Lopetegui system. And like I said to you, if you're going to bring, that's another confusing thing for me. When he brought Fulkrug and Souček on as box crashers, how was the game plan not changed to us start arrowing fucking balls into the box? Just didn't seem to be the case. I don't think you can have him leading the line, and that goes back to what we were saying earlier on. I think that if you gave me an option now of who should be that centre forward, it would probably be a Bowen or a Kudus. My choice would be Bowen if you've got Paqueta in the 10. But Fulkrug for me, I don't think he did anything wrong. It's a similar sort of thing. I'll give him a 6. I'm just not. Yeah. What do you reckon, John? What do you reckon on him?
Okay. When we first got him, you wasn't overwhelmed, was you?
No.
Like, I wasn't overwhelmed, but you was like, fucking, you was a little bit like...
I just don't know how you can go from Duran to Fulkrug. I don't know how you can do that.
No, I get it, but if it's a 2-year thing, whatever.
4 years, John.
Yeah, but the contracts mean fuck all these days, Nick. They mean nothing. Look what's the paper they're written on, mate.
I know.
But what I'd say to you, there is with him is that he is a throwback. He is a very British striker from the late 80s, early 90s. If you don't cross the ball, he ain't going to score many, right?
No.
All the times I've seen him, he needs the ball in front of him. He's not going to run down channel.
Thank you, mate.
He's not going to chase down slide rule passes. We have to judge him, and you're going to score him accordingly, right? He'll probably get a 6. He ain't done much for us this season. I agree. But he's had one cross since he's played for us, and he nearly scored. That was from James Ward-Prowse's free kick against Bournemouth. Apart from that, there's been no crosses that he can run onto and meet. And that's his strength. So it's difficult for him. It's going to be difficult for him, mate.
No, I agree. Go on, Jay. One more thing on Fulkrug. What's your take on him before we move on?
I'd also like to say the one time he got the ball played into his feet where he could flick it to a player, was it when we flicked it to Jimmy? Was that Palace or was that the other one? Do you remember that little touch he put through to Jimmy? I think if you play to his strengths and then you've got Kudus and Bowen either side of him, I think he could be a really useful player. At the minute, you just can't score him because we've not played to him, so it's pointless. Personally.
I agree. No, I agree with that 100%. 100%. I do. Yeah. Like I said to you, I don't. He ain't. Look, listen. He ain't a shit player.
Turkey teeth.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He does. No, but the thing is, he ain't a shit player. He's clearly not. He's he's Germany's number 9. He's not shit. Far from it. It's just whether. But Skamaka and Haller weren't shit.
No, I agree.
You know,
I agree, but we would have thought that under Lopetegui that in time he will use Fulkrug as and when needed
to his strengths.
To his strengths. Otherwise, it's fruitless. We know that Moyes always played whatever striker played the same way, and we will play the same way. You have to adapt as well.
Really quick one on Soufal, Jay.
6.
It's hard to mark them. They came on late. I'll tell you what, we will have a chat with John. Somerville had a great moment. Nearly had a great moment, didn't he?
What was that?
John. He hit the fucking post. Came on and hit the post.
Somerville hit the post?
Yeah.
Well, Edison touched it onto the post. He touched it onto it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I can't even remember that.
It was right at the end. It was literally right at the end. It was on target, wasn't it?
It was on target.
I don't remember that. I genuinely don't remember that.
The thing is, that's Jimmy's game as well. That's how, if you look at his goals that he scored for Leeds, if you get him there, he got that cut. Like, you know, Saka does the same thing every time, bang, left foot.
Yeah,
Jimmy does like the same thing on the right.
Well, he does right. like what Bowen does on the right, on the left
as well. Yeah, pinged in, boshed, far coat, and it was going. It was a great save, to be fair to Edison. Great save.
Yeah. So what would you give him as a score though? 6. He's still only got. It's got to be a 6. And he wasn't. He was only going to put 2 minutes, wasn't he?
Else, did he?
Nah. Right. Right. Jay, go on. You take Loppy.
Right. Because of the starting lineup, he's getting an 8 from me. He gave me. I was happy to be a West Ham.
I'd align with that as well, John. 8
on fucking on that morning, Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Or afternoon even.
Yeah. No, I think an 8. He's not scared. He's not scared to sub people. Yes, he plays the same formation as Moyes, just 15, 20 yards further up the pitch in the main. He's not scared to take people off, no matter who they are, if they're captain or not. I like what I'm seeing. I'm positive going forward. I think now he's got 2 weeks break, international break, and I'm positive. I'm very positive for the season.
I think the big test now is going to be Fulham, isn't it? It's going to be Fulham because that's where we're going to want to see.
Every game.
No. I know. But
I know that's stingy saying that, but it's true.
But you're really encouraged, Jay, aren't you? Moving forwards now, with
Loppy. Listen, that starting 11, it wasn't perfect, but it was beautiful because it straight away you knew this is going to be a complete different style of football.
That's a good point. It's a good point from Michael Levy Jr. I was happy to see Loppy identifying a problem and making a change, like the shape at half time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, man of the match, people. Right, so John, Jay, who am I putting in? It's going to be a week. Yeah.
Kilman.
Yeah.
And Kudus or Rodriguez. How many can you put in?
4.
Right, Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, Kudus and Rodriguez or Guido, whatever you call him.
Guido, yeah.
Maybe,
we know he's getting this. He's going to be AWB. I'm betting.
Yeah, but don't try and influence the viewers or customers. What do we call them? No. Are these customers, viewers, fans? What are they?
Customers? What are you, Karen Brady?
No concessions here, lads. Have you put it in the chat? Yeah, make sure you vote, people. Otherwise, it's
come on.
Waste of
vote
time.
Up.
You're doing calls, aren't you, Nick? I'm gonna get the timer. You're doing calls tonight, aren't you?
I am doing calls. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reset my little box of tricks before we do. But it should work. It should work tonight. I bloody hope.
Jonathan Boyce says it don't matter if it was 2 or 8 years. Antonio is done, and he will leave in the next window. So we will have one striker left. We will get Jonathan. Fuck me, that name Jonathan David's been around for like 2 or 3 years, isn't it? We will
tell you what, that would be a good fucking signing. That would be a good signing.
Mate, we've been talking about him for about 16 windows. He must be about 50.
I'm amazed he ain't moved. I'm amazed he ain't gone.
Where is he? Still in France?
He's still at, is it fucking Lille or wherever he is? He's still there. I can't believe it. He's such a good player. Such a good player. See, he would be, I think that he is what I'm hoping that Duran could turn into. I think he's there already. He's a bit older. He's more developed. So he would definitely be a fucking not a good alternative. He's in my eyes as good a talent as Duran. It's Aaron Wan-Bissaka. It's 68%.
Matthew Hossack as well. That was a worldie. He just bigged up Ariola's save. That was a fucking worldie save. That really was great.
Yeah, but you can't give him man of the match. He hadn't played half the game. That's what I'd say. But it was a great save. We did mention the save. Yeah, it was a great save.
Right, there we go.
Kai Coward. Jonathan David's 24.
Is he 24? Yeah, so I bet he's been about for ages, hasn't he? We have been talking about him for a while.
Mate, when we started this YouTube channel 3 or 4 years ago.
I know. Right, what I'm going to do is, if you just go through the comments, John, I'm going to reset my box of tricks.
Sorry?
And hopefully get this thing fucking working.
Let's see. Yeah. All right, Jay, I know what I'm doing, mate. I've been here longer than you. All right, son, yeah? You're always ordering me about. Wes M says, good that most of the defence plus Tadibo aren't going on international duty. Mav's the only one. Well, that is good. Gives him time to work with him on the pitch, doesn't it? On the ground.
Once Toddy gets fit, he's going to be a beast of a player. Definitely.
I hope so, mate, because against Bournemouth, he looked so relaxed for a defender.
Yeah, he was.
I feel like I'll wake up a little bit, but maybe Nick says that's his style, but I don't really know much about him, if I'm honest with you. Alec Bassendale says 719 viewers hit the like and the vote. Well said.
Hey.
Michael Levy says Jonathan Calieri, man of the match. Wes M. Alvarez is not going on duty either. Ironic says Haaland, man of the match without a doubt. Yeah, classic. You know, where are we? As much as I like Soufal's trying since he arrived, AWB is a revelation. Yeah, they're chalk and cheese, aren't they? They're absolute chalk and cheese. And I think someone like Soufal must look at that. You know, he's an honest professional. Yeah, he's a proud man. I hope that I hope that Soufal don't get frustrated and want to leave. I'd like him to think, you know what? I'm happy to be a squad. I know people say no one's had to be a squad player, but if you're, you know, Soufal and you look at Wan-Bissaka, you must think, bloody hell, he's a lot better than me. You got to be honest.
You got to be honest. Yeah, absolutely.
I know it's professional pride, and I'm not expecting him to come out and admit it, but I just think. And what did we pay for Wan-Bissaka? 15 million.
15 million. This is a steal.
Senseless, absolute.
The Vodafone voicemail service for.
Where's that comment that just came up
about
Kilman?
What's that, mate?
Did you see the Kilman comment? Someone just put up. Yeah, red stretch. How come Kilman never been called up for England when we picked Maguire?
I'll tell you what, he will be. And Joe Wells, Wan-Bissaka. We're going to have Wan-Bissaka, Kilman, and fucking Bowen in that team. We are.
What do you think about signing out of contract players? If they're good, fucking sign them.
Yeah, no, I think if we've got space in the squad, why not?
Well, Mark, I mean, we just said we were doing the scoring, mate. Guido was a free transfer, so if they come in of that caliber, then yeah, you ain't going to say no. And I think like Nick said, I think Lopetegui's probably got some good contacts, and he'll probably only go for free transfers that possibly he's worked with as well because he trusts them. You know. Getting back to the striker debate again, Peter Gadecki says we should have brought another striker. Antonio's never been good enough. I disagree that he's never been good enough. And Fulkrug looks way off the pace. We're going to struggle until we get that right. But that's what we were saying, Peter. We've got a lot of other options. You could play Kudus, Bowen in the false nine, as and when Fulkrug, Antonio may be unfit, not available. You know, who knows?
Talking about youth strikers, that Kai Coward has just put in there. Have you lads been looking at our youth striker? Ajala looks class. Think he's
no, I haven't. I've heard about him, but I haven't seen him play. I haven't seen him play. I have made a commitment to go to a few youth games this year. I think we should do. Really, I think we should. We should do. Go and have a quick look.
Mine's only around the corner from me, anyway.
Yeah, right here we go. Hello, Gary.
5-minute timer. Bosh.
Gary?
Hello, Nick.
Hello, mate. We're gonna give Gary 10 minutes because we knocked him off last time. Yeah.
10 minutes.
So Gary, can you hear yourself today, or is it okay?
Yeah, it's echoing a bit still.
Is it echoing? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why, mate. I've made the changes. The fucking thing's done an update, and I don't know why. Is it as bad as last time?
Yeah, it's about the same.
Oh, fuck's sake. Well, do you want to talk anyway and just try and ignore yourself as you talk?
We do.
It's really off-putting.
I know. I've done it before. I will. I can't believe that. I fixed it. I don't know what's happened. All right. That's annoying.
Okay. Right, a couple of points. The first thing is the striker situation.
Yeah.
I'm like you, Nick. All through the window, I was just desperate to get Duran. And I can't believe this club just cannot get right when it comes to buying forwards. We're still mucked up. We had a brilliant window. It would have been the final piece in the jigsaw. We're near enough.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you think we offered 34 million, they wanted 40, so £6 million difference. We've gone and paid 25 for Fulkrug. When we could have got him, 20-year-old player who does everything, run the channels,
and not just that, right? Not just that. I've heard what Fulkrug is on. I know what Duran was going to be earning. Duran was going to be earning less as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe. I mean, in another year, 2 years' time, he scored again yesterday, Duran. He's going to be worth a lot more than 40 million. I'll tell you what, the club really fucked up there.
I think I said before, I think we've missed the boat on that. I think Villa are going to use him now. They'll use him because they've got Champions League and stuff like that. He's going to get more game time just to try and keep him happy.
I mean, could you imagine Bowen,
we're not going to get him.
Kudus, Somerville behind
Duran?
Yeah, be mouth-watering.
Yeah, it would do. It is a shame. It really is a shame. So have you got a bit of a downer on Fulkrug then? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just don't think unless we play him right, Nick. I mean, I watched him in the Euros.
Yeah.
And I must admit, he caused Spain more problems than any other player. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
They kept launching balls in, and he was really giving them trouble. But if you're not going to play to his strength, what's the?
Oh, I've lost Gary. Gary.
Someone said if he puts headphones on, it stops the echo. I don't know.
Not on this fucking
Hi,
thing.
Gary Pickley. Please leave your...
I'll wait for him to call me back. Right,
Hello, Gary Pickley.
But what he just said, that lineup with Duran behind.
Yeah, it's mouth-watering. It's mouth-watering. But is there an argument? Right, here we go. Right, hang on, Gary, 1 second. Just got to
restart the time.
hold you over. Right,
seconds.
There we go. Gary, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
My second point is the manager. I mean, we've been crying out for 2 or 3 years for a left-sided player.
Yeah.
We've got one in Somerville, and we're still playing our best player, Kudus, out on the left. He's got to play in the middle. You can't play him on the right because Bowen's there. He's got to play in the 10.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he's not playing Somerville. It's not like he's not played in the he played in the Premier League with Leeds. He's had a championship a full season. And I'd like to see him start on the left with Bowen and Kudus in the 10 and a striker whoever we pick.
Yeah, no, I know.
You know, but,
I mean, look, there is also an argument as well, sort of in Fulkrug's favour. If you look at, let's talk about Haaland. I know that's a different level fucking striker, different level altogether, right? But Haaland, I feel like City have only just sussed out how to start playing with him. Do you not think? I feel like he disrupted them initially when he first came in because he's a bit of a conventional striker. Well, he's not. There's nothing conventional about him. He's. What I'm saying is, all he does is score. He don't do nothing else. he just fucking hovers around the box, and he just goes. But I wonder if it will just take a little bit of time for us to get to grips and learn how to use him. Although I don't think it's rocket science with Fulkrug, John. Do you? With like getting the best out of him?
No, I just think like Ian R. Sorry to like not answer your question, but I agree with you. I do wonder why we keep signing the wrong striker. Haller, Skamaka, Fulkrug are all good players. They just don't suit the manager at that time or the style that would be brought them for. It is interesting. It is interesting. But we've got to give Lopetegui time. I think he will use Fulkrug in the right way as and when he needs to. I just think at the minute he's bedding them in and it's time. Yeah. No, I agree. Right, Gary, I'm going to try something else out, mate. Right, so when you're talking, I'm going to turn this off. Tell me, this is bollocks. This is what I've got to do. Right, so tell me if you can hear yourself now. Can you hear yourself?
Can I hear myself? Yeah, still can hear it. It's still echoing.
Well, that makes no sense whatsoever. None.
Shit, Nick.
They've done an update.
The only way around it, I wonder whether you call people rather than they call you. Would that make any difference?
No, it shouldn't make any difference at all. It don't matter, mate. Right, go on anyway.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, the free. I know Darren Potter just said about it's getting boring about the Duran talk. I understand what he means, but it's so frustrating. We could have had him, and I think with him in the side, top 6, maybe even higher would have been possible.
I think the reason
the players now, Ings is what all the stocks are over 30. Ings isn't good enough. Tonio's past his best. You've got Fulkrug. I mean, that's it. We've got all these brilliant field players. Defence is really strong now. Once Tadibo gets up to match fitness, he will partner Kilman, I think.
Yeah.
We've got 2 good fullbacks in Ramsaka and Emerson. But it's just the forwards. It's just
But the thing is, look, we ain't got long until the January transfer window. That's the other thing as well. So
when is it, Nick?
It's in January, funny enough.
But how many points are we going to drop between now and then because of that?
Yeah, well, don't you think there was going to be a period of transition anyway? Go on.
No. Let me just interrupt. I'm not being rude. You can't surmise how many points we're going to drop, and you can't prove that if by having Duran or a quality striker would have made, you can't ever prove that, man. You can't ever prove that because we've got Fulkrug in. We've had Skamaka, who you said, Nick, was a far more technically gifted player. Haller as well. They didn't work for the manager's reasoning, whatever. You can never, ever. We've had this problem with strikers since fucking Tony Cottee. But, we haven't had a 20-goal a season striker for donkey's years. So this is not a new problem.
Yeah, but John,
it's a club problem. You can't prove we wouldn't have had.
I was going to say, when you watch a game, we all watch a game, right? We all see things a little bit differently. But Duran, you can just watch. I've seen him play a few times now. Yeah. I've seen him last season, came on against Liverpool. Villa were losing 3-1, and he absolutely ripped them apart. And he scored twice. The bloke, he's probably one of the best up-and-coming young strikers in the world at the moment.
Gary,
could have had him.
I'm not disputing that we could have got him.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not saying he's not a good player because I didn't know much about him. But yes, I've taken a bit of an interest in him because Nick's been sort of doing something to himself over him constantly.
I was obsessed. I'm not now. It's frustrating. Just frustrating now.
And I didn't know too much about him. So I'm not denying everything you've said, but you can't say what we would have scored point-wise. That's all I'd say. You can't prove or disprove that. But I agree with you. He would have been a good option, 100%. I don't disagree with him as a player either. I think you're right. I just
one last thing.
Go on, one last thing.
Just a Paqueta.
Go on.
I'm going to have to watch me words carefully here. I know Nick loves him.
No, go on. I won't interrupt you. Go on, you have your say on him. Go on.
No. I'm really been watching him closely.
Go on.
And I know when you get players that try and these intricate passes, they can not always come off. But some of the things he does, some of the mistakes, the passes are so sloppy. And all I'll say is this. Name me the last Premier League game when he was like 8 or 9 out of 10 and he actually won the game. He had a chance to prove it yesterday. I keep hearing his term world class. And it just appears a lot of times, Nick.
So
I don't know why.
What's your answer?
We think he is.
So what's your answer then?
What, Paqueta?
He hasn't asked the question. It's just his opinion.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying, would you drop him if it was down to you?
If you play him in the 8, then you run a risk when he gets the ball away, like he did the other day. It can lead to goals. If you play him in a 10, then you can't play Kudus there. So I did hear Gio saying earlier. It made a very interesting point. Moyes last season put him out on the left. Now I know it's not ideal. But he linked up well with Emerson. He does tend to drift in, and Emerson and him overlap. That is another option.
Yeah.
But I think we've got a different, especially with Soler coming in as well. Would it do any harm? Maybe no player should be undroppable, and if he's not doing it,
I don't think any player is going to be undroppable for Lopetegui. I think John's made that point. So I do think he deserves a run in a 10 because I think he's in our current situation. There's no point keep on switching it around all the time. If we do, I would do what you just said, and that's switch Paqueta and Kudus. So Kudus goes in the 10, vice versa, but keep him further forward.
I mean, John, if you was the manager, who would you do? Would you play Paqueta in the 10, or would you put Kudus in the 10 and put Paqueta in the 8, or put him on the left? What would you do?
I'd probably. What's that noise?
Time. That's time.
Let me just answer what Gary said. I think currently, what I'd probably like to do is, because Antonio is so off form and because Fulkrug probably ain't going to be starting at the moment, I'd probably like to see Somerville left, Kudus playing as like the false 9 and Paqueta behind him. I'd still have Paqueta in the 10, but maybe with, I agree with Nick, maybe with someone who's a bit more mobile in front of him, maybe with someone who can chase the slide passes down a bit better. Maybe something like that. I wouldn't drop Paqueta, but I agree with you. He's very much off form, in my opinion. He just needs to keep it. Daniel DeMarco.
Hang on 1 second, right? I had a bit of an observation from Kudus when he appeared in the 10 yesterday, and this was in the second half. I don't know whether you can remember it. He broke through the middle behind 3 players in front of him. And if he'd have played the pass, if Paqueta would have played the pass that Kudus fucking played, we'd have all been ripping him to pieces. He literally had 3 options and he passed it to their centre
I know the one. I saw that.
So I think he might be enough. I don't think he's ideal for the 10 because I think he's a runner. And I don't necessarily think he's got that kind of creative mind to slip a ball through and stuff. I don't think he's that player.
He's more robust.
The only other way, Nick,
yeah.
what you said earlier, is play Bowen down the middle. Now, he's not like Antonio. He hasn't got the physical attribute. Play him in a different sort of way and put Kudus on the right. I reckon Paqueta as a false nine.
I reckon. Well, I said.
Do you remember last season? Man United came on the second half.
They'll back me up here. I said this. My preferred lineup against City. I came out and I said Lucas Paqueta in the 10, and I said because you play him further forward, you've got a player who likes operating in close proximity with players. He likes contact. He can do that. He can bring the ball into play and he can link up play better than any other player that we've got, I believe. He isn't going to run in behind or anything like that. But I tell you what, he's got the ability to slip a centre-back and stuff like that. Also, he will bring Kudus, Bowen and whoever else is around him into play. I said, for me, what I said was Paqueta up front. It was Somerville left. It was Bowen right. It was Kudus in the 10 with Alvarez and Rodriguez at the base. That was what I said before the game.
Last season against Man United, do you remember that they pushed him up front second half? It was 0-0. We ended up beating them 2-0, and he absolutely caused them all sorts of trouble.
Yeah. Well, apparently this happened for Leon. This is how Leon kick-started Paqueta into life. Apparently, when he first went there, he weren't that great, and then they gave him a period of play in the false nine, and he was phenomenal. But anyway, Gary, lovely talking to you, mate. We must move on.
Cheers, Gal.
Yep. Take care, lads.
Cheers, mate. I'll try and fix the fucking thing for next time.
John, come here. I see your comment come up. I'll say it because John said he has had no comments up yet. If I see one of your comments, mate, I'll read it out.
What's that?
John, come here. He's saying,
John don't like other Johns.
John don't like other Johns.
I'm trying to put as many up as I can. They down through very quickly. Sorry, John. It's not intentional, mate. But put any comments you've already put up. Put them up again, mate. No problem. I'll find them. Don't worry. Sorry. I'm struggling to go backwards, like I said.
Right. So if anyone else does want to phone in, please do. But bear in mind, you are going to hear yourself speak. I'd love that because I love the sound of my own voice.
No, you don't, do you?
Omar Ali Kanyak says, let's not panic about Paqueta. Not many teams will press with the high intensity that City do. True. Very true.
Right. Time.
Hello, Darren Potter.
Hey, Potter.
Wow.
Darren Potter's going to slag off Paqueta and Antonio, so he definitely only gets 5 fucking minutes. Go.
Is that all?
Go on. There you go, Darren. How you doing, mate?
You all right?
What
I do for a start, I would put Kudus in the middle with Paqueta, Bowen, and Somerville on the left.
Yeah.
The thing is, people moan about Fulcook, but he's barely played yet. He needs more game time.
Okay, no, that's fine. So you sit Fulcook up top.
Yeah.
Okay. What else would you like to talk about, mate?
Well, that with Paqueta, he's not been all that at the minute, but he's probably got a lot of shit on his mind.
Yeah, look, I do agree with what Gary said in the last call, and nobody can dispute that. The performances that we saw from Paqueta, probably the start of last season, where he was basically winning fucking games. He was winning. Yeah. He was literally unbelievable. We probably haven't seen performances of that level for a while, have we? Not of that level. Yeah. We know what he's capable of. Paqueta.
I think he's taking
the other thing as well about that Duran though.
Yeah. Don't talk about Duran, Darren. Darren, he ain't our player. Look, get over it. Darren, get over it, mate. He ain't our player.
The problem is, though, he could have turned into another Skamaka or Haller or something.
Oh, yeah. He could have. Yeah. So could Fulkrug.
He could have flopped.
Yeah.
Hang on, Darren, can you hear yourself?
They need to give the German more game time. He ain't proved himself yet.
Darren, can you hear yourself?
Has he got an echo?
Yeah, it's echoing.
Oh, you can. Oh, yeah. That's fine. That's fine. I thought I fixed it.
Shouting at him. I thought you'd go.
Nah,
this thing is, I'm going to throw it out the window.
I thought you'd have a go at him, going, "Can you hear yourself?"
Yeah.
But how are you, Darren,
but anyway, Darren, how are you feeling about the start of the season, and how are you feeling moving forwards? Are you encouraged? Are you encouraged?
If we play like we did in the second half yesterday, we're going to rip the shit out of a lot of teams.
Yeah, like the positivity.
Possibly.
And I can see us spanking the shit out of Man U as well.
Yeah. Man U are looking great as usual, aren't they? I mean, they're like the gift that keep on giving, Man U. They are.
Yeah.
They're a banter club. I mean, the Aaron Wan-Bissaka transfer for us was the best, absolutely the best. To go out and get that Mazraoui for 20 million after they'd just given us Wan-Bissaka for 15.
And Kilman as well. He's class.
We went for him first, John. Yeah,
we was linked with Mazraoui, weren't we?
That was Tim being a bastard because he knew they wanted Mazraoui and we wanted Wan-Bissaka, so we was like,
I must admit,
we're going buy Mazraoui then. I don't think we ever.
I was waiting for us to put a late bid in for Ivan Toney.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's the money with him. I think he's going to be on about 250-300 grand a week out in Saudi. We was never going to compete.
That's a lot of money.
Never going to compete. So that's the reason he's gone out there.
He was only on 30 grand a week, you know.
Is that what Tony?
Brentford.
No way.
He had his championship contract. He never, like Rice never signed a new contract.
Yeah.
Because he was holding out for a big move or a bigger contract, so he never signed a new contract, which probably meant he would have had a new get-out clause and all that. He was one of the lowest paid, lower than the other striker. He was on peanuts.
I'll tell you what, no wonder he loves an accumulator. No wonder he loves an accumulator. Do you know what I mean? It's
one other thing though, wasn't it? Nice to see Rice get sent off.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Actually, John won't agree, but
I don't agree, Darren. Me and you've been getting on in the chat, mate. You've ruined yourself now.
It was brilliant.
That's a taxi service, John.
For a player to get sent off for being kicked was fucking brilliant. He literally got kicked and got sent off, didn't he?
Yeah, but his one ran like fucking. He had his leg chopped off.
Yeah, do you know what I did catch up on today? Just talking about other football. Everton and Bournemouth. Everton and Bournemouth. Mate. 2-0 up, and then the 87th minute from that point on. Fucking hell! I mean, mate, that was ridiculous. That was.
I can see Everton getting relegated this year.
You can see Everton getting relegated.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's about time. Honestly,
definitely. But what do you think of that Solar signing then?
Well, again, we've seen. Look, listen. There's a lot of people pinning a lot of hopes, and like I said to you on that show that I did yesterday, Solar's got. He's better than Paqueta. Blah 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 blah. He's going to be a good player, but you put Paqueta in.
I think he's going to be like cover.
No, I don't think he's going to be cover. I think he'll be another player that will come in and be part of the team, but I don't think he'll be cover. But for people to sort of suggest that he's going to be better than a player who Man City were on the verge of paying £100 million for, mate. This is the player that everyone's calling shit at the moment. He ain't shit.
And we've got 2 years of him.
No, he's going to be good. Soler's going to be good. I think he's a good player. But anyway, Darren, lovely talking to you, mate.
You too. Take care.
Cheers, mate.
John Camay put a good point up in the chat. She put Paqueta needs to be rotated. We have the depth of the squad now. He needs to be taken out of the firing line. Pep does this with the likes of Foden, De Bruyne. See, I agree with that. We've got that's
just John saying in a very nice way he wants to drop Paqueta. That's what he's saying. It is.
Nah, I don't agree. I think that's enough. We've got enough players in. Like you, I would have maybe.
I do agree. Listen, I do.
More time. Pull Kudus back into where Packer was, but Jimmy out on the left.
I completely agree. Well, it's like James is saying there. It's like James and James is saying personally wants Somerville established as soon as possible.
Yes,
I do as well. Yeah. I really do.
You said he looks tiny though.
Mate, he's small. He's not well small. It don't mean he ain't going to be fucking brilliant, but he's so small.
Cresswell.
Right,
let's get the time up.
There we go. This is Leo. How you doing, mate?
Great name.
Leo, can you hear us?
Yes. How are you?
I'm very well. Leo, can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry about that. My kit has failed. So you're gonna have to ignore yourself talking because it's fucking annoying. I know it is. But what would you like to talk about this evening, Leo?
I actually talk about the next.
You got a bad line, mate.
How many?
You got a bit of a bad line.
Ooh, can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about the next couple of fixtures and how many.
Oh, mate.
Going in and out. Leo, going in and out. Are you ringing from the States? Is he ringing from States?
Yeah. It's normally crystal clear when Leo phones in. But that could be me. Yeah. Leo, stay there a minute, mate. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off. 1 minute. Stay there. Because it could be my end.
What happened for John? You've gone for a shit?
But yeah, he must have. He's choked on a fucking onion ring or something, hasn't he? Leo, try now.
Yeah, hello.
That's better. There you go. It was my end.
Leo.
All right, perfect. Yeah, no, I just
Oh no, it weren't. Fuck.
the next.
Oh, it's
Mate,
terrible.
Is it me?
no, I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, I'm losing you. It must be you. You're in. Are you connected to a Wi-Fi or 5G or something?
No, I'm on 5G.
Oh, it should be
Not
fine
working
then. Should be fine. No, you're dropping in and out. Is it the same for you, Jay?
Yeah, every other word I'm getting, literally every other word.
Oh,
Ooh. All right, no, that's fine. Probably, I'll you.
okay, mate. You go on. I'll tell you.
Leo,
What. Put it, Leo. Put it in the chat, and we'll discuss it.
Yeah,
All
good
right,
to hear
perfect.
from you, though, mate.
Top man. Yeah, call back in next time, mate. I'm so sorry. This is
No. It could be. I'm not home.
No worries, mate. All right, top man.
Nice one,
Cheers,
Lee.
Leo.
Take care, mate.
Cheers. Have a good one.
You too, mate.
That's the only thing. Sometimes with what's the old WhatsApp calls, sometimes it can be a little bit like that.
You got the cheek to dig me out about my 32-bit float shit, and look at you. Look at you.
Fuck you, mate. Honestly, do you know how expensive this bit of kit was? And they've fucking done an update. And they've- No, the bit of kit I bought so I could take phone calls, and they've done an update, and now the fucking thing I can't get it working. We're gonna have to do a test run next week before it comes back. But look, anyway, I think what we'll do. We'll leave it there because it is really difficult for callers when they call it. I don't know if you've ever done it, and you can hear yourself talking. I mean, it would be a nightmare for Jay because you're fucking annoying, your voice. So
I know, mate, and that's why I call you every fucking day, and I will call you every morning. Hi, Nick, from YouTube.
What's this? What's Nick saying? Nick running the stream on a ZX81 using dial-up. I might as fucking well be. Honestly. All the gear and no idea, me.
Mike Levy Jr. said earlier, funny enough. All the
Yeah,
gear
I
and
know.
idea.
I'm not one of them blokes that can't play golf, and they've got the big berthers to take over the pitch and putt. Anyway,
hold on, Leo,
hang on a minute. Is Leos?
Yeah, my bad about the call I want to talk about was how many points you think we'll get from 7. Bosh! I'm going 7. Fulham will do. Brentford will do. Draw with Chelsea.
I'm going to go 7. I think we're going to do Fulham and we're going to do Chelsea. And I think Brentford could fuck us because they always do.
So draw, though, not a loss.
Not a loss.
7.
I think a draw. 7 points, yeah. 7 points. I think we could do Chelsea are electric at times. If you get them but they're not better than City, but they're
definitely not better than City.
No.
They're a bit erratic, Chelsea, at the minute. That's what they are. They're sporadic. You don't know what they're fucking going to do, to be honest.
No. Alex just said, I hope Mickey's okay. Been aging since we saw him last. He was on last weekend, mate. He was supposed to be on tonight. But yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He'll be back next week. Mickey's all right.
As man said, can Solo play on the left? Yeah, he can go across the whole of the middle, Solo, can't he? The middle of the park. He can play, yeah.
He can indeed.
Have you tried turning it off and off again?
On and off again. Right, everyone, we're going to leave it there then. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please drop a like on the video before you go, if you don't mind. And we will see you next week. And I'm going to have probably the phoning thing still not fucking working, but I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll try.
All the gear and no idea.
See you later on. Kevin, you heads.
Go, guys.